Arguably, the best boss rush unit, Shiou is back in Wizardry Variants Daphne. She is one of the only samurai available as of right now, so there's much to discuss whether or not to pull for her. Hello or hello again, I'm Somnio. In this video, I'll go over everything you need to know about her, my thoughts, and more. Let's first go over Shiou's inheritable skill, Lingering Blossom. The user increases their own attack power and surety for 3 turns. For the following turn, they're also more likely to be targeted by enemies. They also have a chance to survive with 1 HP if they were to be knocked out. If this were to occur, they gain an even higher attack power and surety buff alongside evasion for 4 turns. If the user is not Shiou, the chance to survive at 1 HP and all stat gains are reduced. You can view this as a better warrior's battlecry. The initial damage increase is similar to it, but once you're left at 1 HP, it does surpass it at level 1. Now, inheriting it isn't ideal since you aren't guaranteed to survive a hit, but as Shiou, you'll live at least the first one. Now, being at this low HP isn't ideal for most characters or classes, but Samurai and Shiou are different. This is where Shiou's personal skill comes into play. Ephemeral Illusion Stance. Shiou needs to be below 30% HP to use this skill, in which she enters the Illusion Stance. In said stance, she'll increase her action speed and damage taken for 1 turn. Once her turn comes back around, she'll deal massive wind-type damage to one enemy, bypassing their defense. This can also be used once per battle. The damage is insanely high, even at low investment like my Shiou. Granted, you must put her in a very dangerous situation to use this skill, and it's also very likely that she could get knocked out before she can even use it. However, the payoff is huge. Her discipline increases attack power and surety, which is ideal for most characters that use physical damage. If you invest vertically into Shiou, she'll make sure to reward you handsomely. Let's briefly touch upon her gacha items. Her katana is Ebon Steel and has a unique passive where her surety hits deal more damage. It's very good for the early game since you'll be stuck with a worn katana for a good while. The only way to get an upgrade is to get lucky and find a wandering ninja, or to hit the Sand Shadow Cave, which is unlocked sometime early in the 3rd Abyss. Her headpiece increases fear tolerance, which is fine but not worth chasing after. Her footwear doesn't have any unique passives, but has surety built into them, which I cannot recommend solely pulling for. All in all, her katana is one thing I'd get if you're new and want to fully invest into her, or don't want to farm a katana for her. Even then, the new silver equipment may eclipse your own katana in terms of damage next month. Everything else you really shouldn't be summoning for, as you can farm something better. Alright, so what does Shiou even bring to the table? Well, she's one of the only 2 samurai, so she has that going for her already. Samurai as a whole are very much designed for those tough fights where you want high consistent damage. They have very selfish passives, like how they can use both attack and magic power to increase their damage output, and deal more damage each turn when they use the same weapon for the fight. Of course, samurai, like ninjas, need more experience compared to basic classes, so they aren't ideal for new players. Now, my overall thoughts. I think Shiou is currently the premier boss rush unit. She respects vertical investment with surety, so if you really like her design, you get very important stats for her. Even if you are a new player, she can make the early game bosses much easier by nuking a large portion of their HP if you pre-damage your Shiou before the fight. She also makes knights look better, since taking damage will knock her out of her own illusion stance. Plus, bringing knights to challenging fights makes them a bit more manageable, so using Shiou makes sense in that regard too. However, if you pull Bugen, you can use him instead. He still has the samurai passives they all get, and their bamboo splitter is akin to the fighter's full power strike. So, if you want to try samurais, you still can, even without the premier unit. To conclude, here's what the man who breathes, thinks, and lives for Shiou has to say about her. So, what do you think about Shiou? Let me know down below. I also think you like this video here. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and until then.